My name is B-Town and I make videos about games I love. Road to Vostok is awesome, but it can also be brutal and unforgiving when you're first starting out. Today I have 10 essential beginner tips to get you raiding more consistently and building up a huge stockpile of loot. Let's go. Number 1. Don't sleep on Village. Village is the starting zone, and I'm sure your gamer instincts might lead you to assume you have to move on quickly, but this zone is actually pretty essential to the gameplay loop. Almost all of the gear and loot in the game can actually be found in Village, minus the higher tier stuff, obviously. And the density of the buildings means that it's a really easy and efficient way to get a lot of gear really quickly. So if you're running low on critical supplies, or really anything at all, do a quick tour of Village, and that will usually sort you right out. That's normally how I start every session anyways, do a quick run in Village and get myself warmed up. Oh, Village also has 2 safe houses. The attic is actually a very worthy unlock. It might seem ridiculous to open a new safe house like 100 feet away from your cabin, but there is a ton more space to work with in the attic. Is actually really valuable. Number 2, single fire is king. Single fire should be the default position on all of your weapons. Only flip to full auto when you're going inside of a building and you know you're going to be in close quarters. Not only is it a waste of ammo, but the recoil is pretty intense, so anybody outside of like 100 meters is going to be really difficult to hit. And it's easy to put a really tight burst on people via single fire. Way more controllable, and it's just way more effective and efficient. Some weapons feature a clear switch indicator on the left side of the gun, some don't. So it can be kind of hard to tell which fire mode you're in. I found this a little confusing at first, but you don't have to squeeze the trigger to check which fire mode you're on. Just do a quick weapon inspect with the X key, and then flip the weapon over using the scroll wheel. The switch is up, you're in full auto, and if it's down, you're on single. Number 3, don't panic. The flinch in this game is kind of bonkers. Anytime a shot comes near you, your point of aim will shift wildly. It's a little weird to get used to. That much flinch without getting hit, you just automatically assume you took a round when that's not always true. So when the firefight heats up, just be cool and concentrate on nailing the shot and everything will be fine. Unless it's not fine and you end up dead, but that's okay too. But it's always more important to get good concentrated fire back on the target. Also, the AI isn't that great of a shot anyway. They oftentimes miss unless they hit a wild pistol shot from across the map and brain you. That happens too every once in a while, so just get used to that. Number 4, backlight. When you're heading out on a run, only take the essentials. You want enough to keep yourself alive and fighting, but any extra is a waste. Not only do surplus supplies weigh you down, you might end up dying and losing everything anyway. And anything you take out on a raid means that that's less space in your backpack for gear you require when you're out in the field. Here's my suggestion. I would only take a primary and secondary weapon, a couple extra mags for each, a handful of food because you stumble upon food very frequently in the open world, and proper medical supplies. Aside from weapons, the medical supplies are probably the most important inclusion. You really never want to leave the house without a splint. If you get a broken bone, you're just going to bleed out. It's going to be a mess. A couple bandages, a splint, and potentially a tourniquet. That's kind of the ultimate combo. Number 5, owning a pet is a big responsibility. The cat is cute, but it's a pain in the butt. After a few days, the cat will appear in the outpost map. You can save it from a well, throw it in your backpack, and then bring it back to your safe house and keep it as a pet. But he's not some cute little house pet. He's actually a new responsibility. Once you acquire the cat, you have to feed him and keep him alive. His health will drain down slowly, but you have to keep topping him off and giving him a certain amount of food every couple of days to make sure that he's happy and healthy. It's one more thing to manage, and it makes the game slightly more complex. The cat is basically an optional raid timer that makes sure that you have to return back to your safe house every once in a while to top him off. He's cute and he's fun. I like it. And I do appreciate that there are things you can do to up the complexity of the game. It's actually just an additional mechanic to make the game slightly harder. Number 6, take care of your weapons. Durability is a serious concern. It's not a suggestion like it is in other games. A jam in the middle of a firefight will get you killed. In the late game, there are weapon repair kits, but early game, you should be cycling through weapons very frequently. The loop is pretty simple. Get a solid weapon, use it to take out bandits, take their crap weapons to the generalist, and trade up for something with high durability. If a gun goes below 40%, sell it for more supplies. Every time you look at the durability of your weapon, you need to ask yourself whether or not you're willing to risk your life on that gun not jamming at a really poor time. Number 7, don't skip school. School is a great place to loot up, but there's always some smoke. It's one of the first places you visit after Village. The doctor is on the 3rd floor, and he's also a critical vendor. But this map is way better than just a mere pit stop. Take your time here. There are tons of loot opportunities with the lockers in the classroom. The school itself is a hotspot for bandits. If you're having trouble, try this. Carefully clear out the entrance, and then quickly make your way up to the top floor. It simplifies the angles you hold when enemies can only come from underneath. Also, when you're up that high, it's a lot harder for enemies to hit you from outside of the building through the windows. The first floor here is easily the most dangerous because the hallway is open to the outside. If you want to maximize your safety, I would very quickly clear the lobby and then make my way all the way up to the doctor. And then from there, you can start going room by room and clearing all the way down. Number 8, place your furniture. This is a weird mechanic. There's a couple different consequences to dying while you're on a raid. Of course, you lose everything you had on you at the time, but you also lose all of the furniture you had saved in your safe house. It's kind of unintuitive. I definitely wasn't expecting that. That was a big surprise. I kind of felt a little robbed when it happened the first time, but it's not a big deal once you are aware of it. Just make sure every time you buy or acquire a new piece of furniture that you place it in one of your safe houses pretty quickly. Or if pieces are lingering in your inventory, just make sure it's something you wouldn't mind losing if you accidentally get your head blown off. Number 9, audio is everything. Crank your headphones and you'll stay alive a lot longer. The enemies give clear audio cues and footsteps are really important. This is not a game to play with Spotify running in the background. Listen up, focus, and your runs will go a lot smoother. The audio isn't perfect. It can be a little difficult to triangulate enemies at sometimes, but knowing someone is around is a lot better than being in the dark. And the final tip for this video is number 10, don't be scared. Running around recklessly isn't a great idea, but hiding is also not going to get you anywhere either. You want to build up your resources and progress through the map at your own pace. Don't be afraid to die. It's gonna happen. A lot, actually. So the best way to get your legs under you is to equip some cheap, reliable gear and head out on a raid. Take a bunch of gunfights until you feel comfortable with the combat. If you lose, no big deal. Almost everything in this game is replaceable quickly, except the cat. Don't get into silly gunfights when you have the cat in your backpack. If you die with the cat on you, the cat also dies, which is just a shame, so just be aware of that. And those are 10 beginner tips to get you started in Road to Vostok. I hope you found this video helpful. This is such a fun and unique survival game that has such a bright future. If you're willing to put in a smidge of effort, it's a real gem of an experience. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.